Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Sky Syndrome Podcast. I'm Ben Gill, and as always, I'm joined by Tom Hill.
Hello.
Troy Salmon.
Hiya.
And some person called Dan Rudge.
Hey,
Yeah, you'll begin to feel like part of the furniture now, Dan. That's good. How are all you guys?
I'm not a sofa. I keep on saying it.
Okay. I stand corrected. I shouldn't spit serious.
Just because you get confused, man.
I know that we've literally recorded these back to back. So I'm just going to say to you anyway, how are you guys doing?
Oh, God.
Yeah, man, it's been ages.
Just pretend that
So much has happened since the last time we spoke.
5 minutes has elapsed since the last recording. Just pretend it's been a week, lads. How are you guys doing?
We were all pretending it's you who's breaking the fourth.
I think it's funny.
So much has happened since the last time we spoke.
I think it's funny in this way. Just you bastards. Next week, someone else will be the guest host, and I'm just going to sit here ready to shoot arrows. Right.
So we're working ahead of schedule because we recognise that there are people who want to listen to us for some god unknown reason. And because of that, and because we know there's going to be times where there's some internet issues coming up for one reason or another, we're recording ahead of time so that they're not missing out.
Yes. So that we can also have more of a life as well. Which is, we were doing the smoke.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
Other things. Anyway, I won't get into that. Who's going first? Okay, I'm just going to say Tom. If it.
Oh, I'm starting this week. Am I? Okay, cool.
Tom's on first.
Tom's on first. Woohoo! All right. So, as I'm sure you will remember from the last podcast, I was speaking about Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett and Good Omens and all that stuff. So
Neil Gaiman, right? For a great Doctor Who episode of that TARDIS one. There we go.
Shush.
The Doctor's wife.
That's the one.
The Doctor's Wife is actually an incredibly good episode. I didn't realise it was Neil Gaiman, but anyway.
Yeah, Neil Gaiman wrote that. It's absolutely fantastic.
I can well believe it now you've said it. I didn't realise he had. Anyway.
Cybermen was a bit rough though. Ooh.
Anyway. Cybermen are a bit of a crap baddie anyway, but let's not go there.
Yeah, let's
carry on, Tom.
I'm going to carry on. But I then got thinking about it, and I decided instead to watch, because I said that Good Omens was one of the best adaptations of a book I'd seen for fantasy. So I've then gone back and I've watched 2 Terry Pratchett adaptations in the last couple of weeks.
Discworld, I'm guessing.
Well, no, 2 of the books. The whole thing is Discworld, but 2 of the books from Discworld. So the first one is called The Hogfather. Don't know if you've ever read the book.
I love it. I love it deeply.
That's Terry Pratchett.
Right.
Yeah.
So the basic premise, if you don't know it, this came out in 2006 with Sky. Sky were the ones who did this.
Yeah.
Thought so.
But it's absolutely brilliant. Basically, the basic premise is the Hogfather is essentially the Discworld equivalent of Father Christmas. One night of the year, he goes around giving presents to all the kids, and somebody is commissioned to kill the Hogfather to stop him giving out presents. And it's the whole thing of basically the assassin manages to, by breaking like children's belief, makes the Hogfather almost essentially disappear. But what they don't realize is that he's actually essential to the running of the universe. For some weird reason, the Hogfather has been around since the beginning of time, first as a sacrifice, which made the sun rise. Then people went, no, we don't need to sacrifice things. And he became this as a symbol of hope for children for one day a year to travel around and do. So there would actually be no tomorrow if the Hogfather were to die properly. And that's the basic premise. So death has to go and do the job of basically being the Hogfather for the night, going around going ho 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 and, with a scythe. It's absolutely brilliant because he can't go into this magical realm because death doesn't exist there, so he can't go and save the Hogfather. So he sends his niece, his granddaughter to do it because she's like 3/4 human. And so you're watching two worlds going. Basically, the assassin goes and destroys the hopes and dreams of children by attacking the Tooth Fairy, taking all of the teeth and using a magic spell to take control of their minds to make them try and not believe about the Hogfather. Because if a lot of people don't believe in a mystical creature, it disappears.
To be fair, I would like to murder Tooth Fairies as well. They remind me of Tinkerbell, and I hate that bitch. So really, I don't blame
Tom,
yes,
is Bilious in the TV show?
Bilious.
The Oh God of Hangovers.
Yes, Bilious is in the TV show, the Oh God of Hangovers. Yes,
I would worship at that.
It's basically because there's like this kind of flux in the cosmic energy. Anything that like wizards and other people start imagining could be real suddenly come into life. So there's an elf for giving you verrucas when you're in the shower. There's an animal that comes out and eats one of your socks, which is why you can never find both pairs of socks. Things like that. It's just utterly stupid. It's absolutely fantastic. It's got an amazing cast behind it. Ian Richardson, who's one of my favourite actors of all time, plays Death. Is actually the last thing that was broadcast of his before he actually died.
So it's the last... Yeah.
Yes, thank you for that.
Too soon?
Yeah, it's only been 13 years, yeah.
Plenty of time.
But yeah, it's a really good. David Jason appears as Albert, who is Death's butler, who drinks over 1 million shots of sherry while they go around all the houses.
I just laughed. In Only Fools and Horses, his character Del Boy's uncle's called Uncle Albert. I've just laughed at that. Sorry.
All right, fair enough. So yeah, it's an interesting thing anyway, and it's a good adaptation. Apparently, Terry Pratchett had real trouble kind of letting go with The Hogfather because it was a very personal book to him and mattered to him a lot. But he felt that they did an all right job of doing it, and he was allowed to show up on set whenever he wanted without warning because they were that confident they were doing right by his vision.
He has a long history, Mr. Pratchett, of not liking that's
because very few people have been able to adapt his stuff well.
Yeah.
But I would say that The Hogfather was the first time it was really done properly with a live action version of something of his. Until that point, I hadn't actually believed it was really possible to do a live action of a Terry Pratchett. I didn't think it would be humanly doable, but they did a good job. And it's, like I say, it's an amazing cast. It's really well done. If you can find it, go and check it out. It's totally worth it. The second one is the second one that Sky did 2 years later, which is called The Colour of Magic. And it's basically the first two books that he ever wrote of the Discworld series. They're not the ones that he recommends you start with. Terry Pratchett recommends that you start with the third book that he actually wrote. But these are the first two, and it follows a magician called Rincewind. And The Colour of Magic was the first book. There was a second book called The Light Fantastic. And basically they merged the two books into one show that they called The Colour of Magic. And basically The Colour of Magic is the 8th colour of the rainbow that can only be seen by magicians. And, or wizards. And it's...
Octarine.
Yes, Octarine, thank you. And there's a lot to do with the number 8 in this book. The number 8 is magically powerful. There's a book called The Octavo. There's loads of things. And basically, Rincewind is the world's shittest wizard, is the easiest way to describe it. Because what happened is the Octavo is this amazingly powerful book that only has 8 spells in it. And they're all really dangerous. And when he was a child, he bet someone for a pint of beer to go and look at the book. And one of the spells left the book and went into his head. And he's never been able to remember another spell because all the spells are so scared of the mistake from the Octavo.
And that's why he's the world's shittest.
That's why he's the world's shittest wizard, because all the other, even no matter how much he tries to learn, all of the spells jump back out because they don't want to be in the same head as that spell. So he's got one spell in his head, which is one of the most powerful spells in the world. He has no idea what it does, nothing else, but it's there and it's stuck. And he's basically been a student at the Unseen University, which is the magic university, for 40 years at the point that we start. So he's been a student for 40 years. He was terrible. He ends up being expelled just because he's been there for that long. And he ends up becoming a guide to a guy, the Discworld's first ever tourist, called Two Flower. And it's their adventures. And they get up to all sorts of stuff. It's absolutely fantastic. It's hard to describe. It's an amazing cast.
Rincewind does have one amazing talent.
Remind me.
He's really, really good at running away.
Yes, thank you. That is essentially his talent. Yes, but yeah. There's also a sapient pearwood box, which is psychopathically loyal to its owner, and it's owned by Two Flower. So it's a wooden box. It's actually full of gold coins. But if anybody tries to open it or steal it, it'll bite their hand off. And it's just absolutely brilliant. It's insane. It's got like 8 legs and runs after people.
Yeah, it's got a lot more than 8.
A mimic. Yeah, that sounds terrifying. We have things like that in Japanese RPGs called mimics. I bloody hate.
Pretty much. Kind of, if you can imagine, like, your luggage is your bodyguard.
Yeah. This is basically the sapient pearwood box is that. It's got, like I was saying, it's got an amazing cast again. David Jason had wanted to play Rincewind for 15 years before he finally got the opportunity, so he was delighted when he got it. And he does a great job. He's slightly older than the character should be, but he does. It's David Jason. He does a fantastic job. Two Flower is played by, I can never remember the name of the actor. He played Samwise Gamgee in The Lord of the Rings. American actor, but I can't remember.
The ginger bloke.
The one. Come on, Mr. Frodo, let's get this right.
He's also a pretty good director himself.
Yes.
That is true.
Was that?
What's his name?
I can't remember. His name's gone out of my head.
Nick Aldis, is it?
No, that's a wrestler.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Nick Aldis.
Nick Aldis is the national treasure of the NWA. That's
I'm pretty sure he's not a ginger whinge bag.
Sean Astin.
Sean Astin.
Thank you very much. So yeah, he plays Two Flower.
Sorry, Magnus.
I thought you said Steve Austin. I was like, yo, that's a Steve Austin. Hey, Frodo, if you get on that,
at the bottom line, because Two Flower said so.
So
I'll give you a
Oh,
stop.
no, Frodo.
Two Flower 316 and I just whooped your ass. Sorry.
Just attack Sauron with beer.
Anyway,
Beer truck.
yes, let's leave it there with the wrestling, for God's sake.
We have to get it in somehow.
All of this stuff is a large part of it is set in a place called Ankh-Morpork, which is the most corrupt place in the universe.
Damn.
It's absolutely brilliant. And one of my favourite pieces of casting, because I thought it was so perfect, is there's a character called Vetinari, who is I can't remember what the word is. The main prefect. There's a specific term.
Patrician.
The patrician. And basically, the only reason that David Jason helps Two Flower be a tourist is because he's ordered to by the patrician, who is brilliantly played, and it wasn't announced before the thing came out, by Jeremy Irons, who is just sinister enough to do it beautifully.
Jeremy Irons.
Perfect.
Such a good piece of casting. They've done a third one since, which I'm not going to go into now, which is Going Postal, where Jeremy Irons didn't want to come back for it, and they gave the role of Vetinari to Charles Dance, which is just as good a
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, Color of Magic and Hogfather, they're both pretty true to their original texts. Terry Pratchett acknowledged that they had to change things for Color of Magic, but said that he was less bothered by that. It wasn't as an emotional connection for him, that book, as the Hogfather. So he wasn't quite so upset, and he was once again open to visit whenever he wanted. He's also appeared in Hogfather and Going Postal. He actually appeared in a cameo role in both of those. So
Okay.
yeah. Anyway, if you're a fan of sci-fi, fantasy, that kind of thing, these are really good
Also
adaptations.
parodies and satires.
Yes, I'm sorry, yeah, but these are fantastic adaptations of books that I thought were nigh on impossible to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where my recommendation comes. Is they've managed to do something quite incredible with a really challenging source material, and it's so worth it. It's a few hours of your life, and I cannot recommend it highly enough.
All hail
It's wonderful.
Gaiman and Pratchett. All
Yeah.
hail.
Yeah.
Get those men a statue, please. Okay, so Tom,
So thank you.
Tom. All right, Troy, you're up.
All right. Okay. So, as I said before, hey, you triggered something off with that Good Omens pick last time. So, first off, I'm gonna go with Preacher.
Oh, yes. Garth Ennis.
I'm like, what was that? Why did I say this before? What am I doing?
Yet another British god. Oh, Garth Ennis. Yeah, go. Please go.
There we go. Garth Ennis, Steve Dillon, they're the creators of the Preacher for the actual comic. But the TV show, oh my days, created by Seth Rogen and AMC. My gosh. Anyone seen the show? Have any of you seen the show?
No, I haven't actually.
Yes, I've seen a bit of the show. I haven't seen all of it.
Oh, you haven't seen all of it. Why do you stop?
It's not that I've stopped. It's that I don't have access to it right now.
Ah, okay.
It's a
So,
great show when you do get to it. Oh my god, this show's amazing.
Oh, I know. I mean, the graphic novels. They're one of my best friends. It's their favorite.
yeah,
Has lent me all of them.
There's The Boys as well, which is airing at the moment.
Mate, The Boys
recently.
is sitting. All of it is sitting on my bookshelf right now.
Man, he's on a run right now. Anyway, Troy, please go ahead.
Trust
Tell
me. But
tell
yeah.
people what it is if they don't know what it is.
Oh my God, Preacher. Let's just say something right now. It has everything. It has the supernatural element. It has the thriller element. It has everything. It has suspense. Oh my days. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. So we're gonna get into this now. A little bit of the premise. So it is a 4-season show, 43 episodes. They've wrapped it up, so it wasn't any kind of like cliffhanger or anything like that. You actually finished the show. They've changed it from the actual graphic novel, the ending, and a few other stuff in between. But so basically the premise. So Jesse Custer, he's like literally the main character with two other characters called Trulip O'Hare, and there we go, and Cassidy. So Cassidy now. Okay, so most English guys would know who Cassidy is. So
Yeah.
Joe Gideon. Oh.
there we go. There we go. That's a good. Okay, so
we'll get to that one day.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we're gonna do something with Misfits as well. So everyone knows Misfits. Everyone from the UK knows about Misfits, and obviously some other people around watching soaps. Soap lovers out there. He was on Emmerdale as well for a little bit as well, called Eli.
He's also in the only film I ever worked on,
Oh, what film was that?
Killing
Oh,
Bono.
he was a prisoner.
Ah,
Is that when he was a prisoner and he had a weird eye or something? Because I've seen a feature on that. Was it a sci-fi prison film?
oh, you talk about that?
No. Killing Bono, the one.
No, he's talking about. Dan talk about something else.
Oh, I need to see that.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, but I know you talk about Del Bender. I know you're talking about. He's in that as well. But yeah.
Killing Bono. Oh no, that's Robert Sherman. No, not him. It's the one that replaced Robert Sherman on Misfits.
Oh,
Joseph
him.
Gilliam.
Yeah, he's replacement. He's replacement.
Oh, never mind then. Sorry.
It's a Misfits. Yeah, it's a Misfits. So
Great film, Killing Bono. Yes. Anyway.
So yeah, so basically, Jesse Custer, played by Dominic Cooper, main character. He's so complex. When you see him, he doesn't say too much, but literally plays this hard man, hard drinking, chain smoking guy, God fearing at certain points because of his father was a preacher. That's why they call the preacher, because he goes back to the parish. Years later, when he's an adult, years later, done all this bad stuff, bank robberies, worked for gangs. He has got an evil grandmother who's literally got abilities. She's basically a witch, and he gets possessed by this force called Genesis. So it's basically
Not the Sega console. We should just point out.
Hmm?
Or Phil Collins.
No, not a Mega Drive.
Or a Mega Drive. Or a Mega Drive that is Phil Collins.
not the actual console. Yeah, we know that. The Genesis literally is like this extra spirit possessed him. It's like Ghost Rider in a way, though. You've got these special abilities.
Phil Collins songs either. Right.
Yes.
Except that it put Ghost Rider in the dust.
I love it. There you go, Dan. So basically, he's got this power to command people to do whatever that he wants them to do. He might say, walk, in a country action that he has, and then they'll start walking. So that's basically one of his abilities. Like literally, basically much as he wants. But there are limits to his abilities at times throughout the show. So he isn't basically exactly too OP. But his new mission in life is to find God. Okay. So,
And kick his ass.
yeah, basically in a way. So he got
Behind the scenes cushions. That's where he's left him.
Yeah, trust me. And the way they depict God in this as well. As a Christian myself, the people say, Troy, what the heck? What are you watching these shows for? What are you watching this blasphemous? I'm like, I love the writing of the show. I'm a person, if it's a great show, I'll watch it. Great writing, great script. It doesn't matter to me. Great acting, I'm good with this. So, and I love my graphic novels. I love them. If you do supernatural thrillers, all that stuff, I'm into it. So, so he goes back. So God's basically this neglectful. The way he depicted him is just, I'm like, damn. I'm like, so blasphemous, but why do I love this?
It basically makes.
Yeah. God himself would probably laugh at this show. This is how great this show is. God himself, literally, in the heavens above, he would literally watch this show and be like, oh my days, this is amazing. So literally, God basically rides this motorcycle for literally most of this show, and he wears this dog suit, and I'm like, oh my days. This Dan's probably like, what the heck? Dan's probably like, yes, more. But yeah, it's a great show, man. And he's a girlfriend called Tulip O'Hare. She is literally this kick-ass character as well. So that's what we call strong female characters right now. This is another representation right now. Strong female characters. Tulip O'Hare, she's a savage. She's beating up deities out here. She's beating up angel demons. She's beating up all of them. It's crazy throughout the show. And Cassidy, as I said before, Cassidy's a vampire, age-old vampire from Ireland back in the day. And I love the way he depicts Joseph Gilgan depicts Cassidy. He basically, the first time we see him, he's on a plane. And literally, he's basically this what do you call it? What do you call him? The hostess, a host on the plane. And he basically just basically shot to pieces. He's like machine guns. It's crazy. And he crashes down because basically the plane crashes, and he sees this cow, munches this cow down, regenerates. It's crazy. This show is insane, guys. I can't even put it into a word. This show is insane.
You're preaching to the converts.
I will be watching.
Huh? You say, Dan?
I will be watching more.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, Dan. Do not stop. Do not stop watching the show. Just keep watching it at some point. Watch it at some point. Finish it off.
If he's given us a good show for once, I'm gonna go.
Once? How dare you?
I'm very dizzy right now. I need to go sit down. He's
Yeah, be
literally
careful. Just go sit down. Don't be dizzy.
Jesus.
I know I'm giving you greatness every week. I know, Ben. Calm down. Chill.
This is the first greatness you've given us in 2 weeks.
Don't know this guy. But continuing on with Preacher, they got this other guy called Saint of Killers. He's an old Western gunslinger. Came out of hell. This storylines is insane, yo. There's so many people in this. Also a key point in the show as well. He's a key point. Okay, Hitler shows up as well, yeah, but don't worry about that. That's later in down the line. But it's amazing. It's amazing. But
basically, they've nailed the comics down to the T.
Yeah. This is how great this show is. They got his character called Eugene, aka Arseface.
All right. All Seth Rogen is a stoner. That's all you play, mate. You're not a good actor. Get out of it. But anyway, back to the show.
Give me his props, Ben.
I disagree. In Funny People, he was really fucking good.
Exactly. Give him his props, innit, Dan? Tell him, Dan. Give him his props. Give him his props, man. Come on.
Rogen's very lazy. But anyway.
Oh yeah.
I'm a fan of Seth Rogen. I think he's awesome.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing, especially when he
wants to. I'll fight you in the car park afterwards, Dan. Don't worry. Right, no, I'm joking.
Been a while.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. But as I said before, this character called Arseface, literally, he shot him. Oh my days, shot himself. He tried to kill himself, and his face is literally a hole in his face. That's why I call him Arseface. And trust me, you're gonna love that too. The storylines, the humor, off the charts. That's what I'm gonna say about that. About Preacher. Say no more. Say no more about Preacher. Classic.
Are you mic dropping?
Mic drop.
Yeah,
Mic drop.
Yeah.
You know that mic dropping. Come on, you know that all day, every day. So Preacher is done. Part 2, second pick. Let's go. Ben said it earlier, yo, but I ain't gonna say it right now. The Boys.
Oh wow! I can predict the future. That's cool.
He predicted me twice now. But I love it.
That's because you are predictable.
Yeah, you predicted
that came out
in a good way though. In a good way though.
Ignore me. I'm not a little bit.
In a good way this week. So literally the first time Ben's predicted me. So
I've got two that also come together as well, like Tom's and yours.
Yeah.
There's a theme. Bit weird. Dan, don't let us down on your pick later, please. Right away, Tom. Sorry, Troy.
I said, you know what? Let me bring the big guns. I said to myself, bring big guns this week. I said, let's go. So Tom was bringing back the good omens. I was like, nah, I got to do something.
I think this show's even more crazy. Jesus Christ, the comic alone. Bloody hell.
And I'll tell you something right now. I haven't even read the comics. I tell you that right now. I'm going to, but I said, let me just watch the show. Let me just get little feet wet, you know, for the boys. And I was like, I love stuff like this. Like anything to do with superpowers. I'm flipping people getting murdered. People get murdered, and I know it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. I'm going to Ben territory now. Sorry. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do right now. So the boys, vigilante show. People with abilities, and basically these vigilantes are trying to take down these high class heroes protected by the government, and literally these vigilantes, they have no powers. Let's just get it straight off the bat. There is one later comes later on, but that's irrelevant right now because she literally comes towards the end of the first season. But they have no powers, and they're led by my boy Billy Butcher, yo. Billy Butcher. My boy Carl Urban. Shout out to Dread. Carl Urban, yo. He gets a bit of a bad rep because most of these shows, it's really bad. They seem to be cancelled. I don't know why. These shows seem to get cancelled for some reason. I don't know what. Carl Urban's a really good actor. He plays Billy Butcher to perfection. From what people tell me anyways, say Billy Butcher, like, how do you depict it?
He plays a really good Billy Butcher, but it's a real departure from the comics.
Yes, exactly. So literally, someone showed me an actual image of the Billy Butcher, and I was like, wait a second.
It's basically Vinnie Jones.
Yeah, either way, he's like Vinnie Jones. Yeah, even the way he talks is Vinnie Jones-esque, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something, yeah. So it's basically Vinnie Jones. And also, the way he looks is literally like Simon Pegg. He's basically his actual look in it, Dan? Apparently.
Was literally the actual inspiration for the character. Was
Exactly.
Simon Pegg.
Exactly. And he's actually in the show.
It's a shame they can get Simon Pegg back to play this character. It'd be the ultimate full circle, wouldn't it?
I know, but even
he wanted to, but he thought that he was too old now to play it convincingly.
Oh, I don't know about that. But it's just, I don't know. I can't see Simon Pegg, you know, his face, like doing all of this. He looks too nice to me.
Yeah,
it's too nice. His face is just too kind. You know what I'm saying? You don't see someone's just got a kind face. I'm like, I can't really see him going Billy Butcher mode, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, so we have
Simon Pegg was supposed to be Huey, not Butcher.
Oh, that's it. I want to talk about Butcher. Huey. No, wait. Huey. There we go. Huey. There we go. Names mixed up. All right, there you go. So, see, Dan's a fan.
Yeah.
We share the graphic novels. So
and
there
the TV show.
And
like,
TV show,
both brilliant.
Is Tom dead? Hold on, is Tom there?
No, I'm here.
No, he's there. He's there. He's waiting to get in.
Okay.
There you go. So we have these heroes. Namely, one. Someone called me this character, by the way, and I'm like, why would you call me this character? Why? I have nothing like this character. They were like, Troy, man, kind of are, man. Like literally, you're basically just meeting these women. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, Homelander. People call me Homelander. I don't know why. I don't know why they call me Homelander. But this guy
in a therapy session right now.
That's what it feels like right now. It feels like.
Maybe because he parks it and lands it at home with the missus. Who knows? Homelander.
Homelander's an amazing character, yo. This guy is so complex, yo. This guy's got basically mummy issues. This guy is literally just doesn't want to. He saves people unless it basically helps him. There was a scene. He's dark. He's literally Superman dark. That's what he is. Superman on flipping steroids. He's off his head. He's crazy.
Basically Superman American Psycho.
Exactly. Yeah, meets American Psycho. I like that analogy. Yeah. So that's basically what he is. He's literally Christian Bale mode on acid. That's basically what he is.
I'm gonna rein you in now, Tracy. You might want to round it up.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. So he goes on. Basically, there's a plane scene right now. Just to round it off right now. It's a plane scene. He has to save these people. Little girl's like, what are you gonna do, Homelander? Nothing. Get back, all of you. Get back, all of you. But he's gonna literally laser beam everyone on that plane, and he just literally flies off with Queen Maeve, which is basically the fake Wonder Woman. So there's scenes like that in this show, and there's the opening scene to this season as well. So hey, look out for that.
Well worth watching.
Yes, well worth watching. There we go. Yeah. The Boys, Preacher. There we go. See, I was getting too excited. That's why I had to go over a little bit. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm reining you guys in. We need to get that.
Go for it. You had to do it.
Sorry, dude. Sometimes
who's next?
Okay, it's me and Dan left now, isn't it?
Go on, guys. Who's next?
Okay. And then I'll rein Dan in. Yeah. Oh, didn't Dan go?
Ben, we haven't got all day, Ben. Come on, Ben. We haven't got all day. Come on.
Dan, you go. I'll rein you in 10 minutes.
Okay. So you were speaking last week, Ben, about an anime series.
Yes.
And I actually wanted to bring one up to the forefront this week because it's fun and it's got a little bit of a different premise than a lot of anime series. Now, it is kind of one of those ones where a normal person gets thrown into an entirely fantasy world.
Oh, it's Isekai. Okay, go for it.
And it's through this kind of level of like they have an MMORPG which is fully immersive, and they get stuck in it, and they're the only real person to now be stuck in this world of the MMORPG. And it no longer plays like a game. They're really interacting with the people who were formerly just NPCs, and it's getting complicated quickly. And
is
they're still their characters.
Is it a guy with a phone?
No.
No, okay.
It's the series is called Overlord.
Oh
yeah, Overlord. Yeah, watch a bit of that show.
And the reason why I found it so interesting to begin with was, well, I had been reading a series of books by Travis Bagwell called the Awaken Online series, where the main character Jason is in an immersive MMORPG.
Yeah.
And is doing really well in that as the sort of most evil character. But the things he's doing are actually quite noble and just very clever and devious. And he plays as a necromancer. And so because this is also what the main character in Overlord plays as, I was interested in watching it. My friend told me about it and I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. 3 seasons later, I can safely say I'm hooked. Ainz Ul Gawm is the name of the main character. He's this big skeleton-looking dude.
Yeah.
Sometimes takes on a persona of a massive, towering Black Knight style character.
Yeah.
And he, at the very beginning of the series, he is one of the top level players in this game, one of the only players to never give up on the game. He's made it his entire life. He doesn't know what he's going to do. The game is about to finish. The servers are going to get shut down. These are the last few minutes of the entire game. He's speaking to the last of his compatriots in his guild in the game. He's the leader of the guild. he has access to all of these incredibly powerful artifacts, and he's decided that he is just going to sit there and like close his eyes in game just as the last seconds tick down with all of the stuff that he's managed to accumulate, because it's the last he's going to have of it.
Yeah.
And when he opens his eyes, he's still in the game and still has all those things, but doesn't have a game menu, doesn't have stats anymore, but is uber powerful.
Okay.
Like insanely powerful. And is trying to manage the fact that he is such an OP character and trying to figure out how to maintain the image of his guild, because it's a protection to be seen as being very feared, but also to try and do some good and try and sort things out so everything's better in his area and surrounding areas, and then it just gets more and more complicated. It's got your standard anime supporting cast of completely overdeveloped and love-smitten female character, and
The thing I heard about anime
really, really silent and sort of stoic male character with a silver beard, and little tiny people who might be male or might be female, and you're not entirely sure which, but then they're really overpowered. And, you know, the really, really bitchy girl who seems to be somehow underdeveloped in some kind of way. Like, all this sort of stuff. And they're all characters that are beyond human and different from normal, and each of them is got the ability to be very, very sinister and powerful and scary. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. If you want to watch it, it should be on Crunchyroll, which if you want to watch anime in any serious level, I would recommend just getting one of them. That's not an endorsement that's been paid for in any way. It's just
It's really
they
worth
have
it.
everything.
And it's all in Japanese, not American. Love that. Good voice acting.
So yeah, however you like to watch your anime, or if you're just wanting to get started into it, this is one that I would recommend. It's fun. It's got a good enough storyline that it will keep you interested. It's not too challenging, really. And yeah, I really recommend it.
Nice.
Okay.
Then we've been talking a lot about British things recently as well.
Oh, yeah.
And I would be doing myself and the place that I come from and the people that I come from a disservice.
Is it Irish?
And Tom figured out what I'm about to say already. If I didn't mention this
Is
show...
it Father Ted? Is it Father Ted?
It's Father fucking Ted.
Oh, boy. Well, that's going to make my choices very interesting in about 5 minutes. But go ahead. If people don't know what Father Ted is.
I mean, if you don't know what Father Ted is...
What have you been
doing? Created by Graham Linehan and Arthur Matthews. And directed usually either by Declan Lowney or Graham Linehan, and sometimes by Andy DeEmony. It was a sitcom based on the idea that there was an island off the coast of Ireland called Craggy Island, which I do believe actually exists. And this was a place where the problem priests, not for the ways you might think, but problem priests were just sort of sent. This
they don't go there.
It was a more innocent time.
They don't go there, thankfully.
Everyone there was already really fecking weird. It really didn't matter that everything was going to go tits up, because things were going to go tits up anyway. And these priests were all out of the way on this island where fucking nobody would ever hear anything about what they did. The main cast are Dermot Morgan, who is sadly not with us anymore, Ardlo Hanlon, Frank Kelly, who I think also has passed.
He passed away last year, yeah.
And Pauline McLean, who is, by the way, one of the most underappreciated comedians that there has ever been. Pauline McLean, and also one of the most underappreciated actresses that there has ever been. She is way, way more than this character role, but this is by far what people would mostly know her for, as Mrs. Doyle.
It's not a bad thing to be remembered for.
It's not a bad thing to be remembered for, but like
she is a lot more, I know.
She is a lot more than that, and she has done an awful lot for the arts and comedy scene and everything in Northern Ireland since then as well. Used her power really, really nicely. So Dermot Morgan is Father Ted, the disgraced priest who may or may not have...
The money was just resting in the account.
Yeah, the money was just resting in the account. Ardal O'Hanlon is Father Dougal, who doesn't know the difference between small and far away.
Sorry.
I've just got the giggles as well, because I've just remembered the one where the Pope visits and the whole time they're daring him to kick him in the arse.
Oh, Bishop Brennan. Yeah, that's
burning up the arse.
Match.
And it's the whole way through. He's getting to look at a real spot on the wall so he can kick him in the arse. That is one of the greatest comedy episodes ever written. Oh my God.
It's such a diamond, this show. It is such a fucking diamond. I haven't even gotten through more than 2 of the cast, and everyone has something that they're going like, oh no, but do you remember? Oh, but do you? We haven't even gotten to Father Jack. We haven't even gotten to the one that everyone has to somehow say one of at least 3 words to.
I had a T-shirt with all 3 of those words on it at one point.
Are those my feet?
Yeah.
Yes.
My favourite one was the rabbits. Hairy Japanese bastards.
Rats! Rats! Hairy Japanese bastards.
Anyway.
It was brilliant. And Pauline McLean obviously, and Mrs. Doyle with her incessant giving out sort of cup of tea and getting things mixed up, and the absolutely wonderful bits of physical comedy that she was able to bring to it.
I hear you're a racist now, Father. Oh, sorry.
It's got cocaine in it. No, I mean raisins.
Sorry.
And that, like, and we also have the cream of the crop of like Irish and British comedians all coming in and doing bits and pieces all over the show. Like,
including Claire Rogan who was Kachansky in Red Dwarf.
Yeah.
Oh boy, the connections that are happening in these last 2 episodes is getting scary now.
And and like Graham Norton as well.
Ted.
And it was really, really cool.
It's better than the Vicar of Dibley. Oh my God.
Look, Vicar of Dibley is not a bad show, but Father Ted is.
Father Ted's like most comedies get slayed by Father Ted. It's ridiculous.
Father Ted was a uniquely brilliant show.
Theme tune. Down, down, down.
But but it was Divine Comedy, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
the whole thing was just absolutely fantastic, and I have recently come to an understanding that in the UK it's kind of like Yeah, we know about Father Ted, we do, but
Yeah.
once you go past the UK, there's very few places that know much about it. New Zealand and Australia, funnily enough, actually got it.
Yeah, they've got the right sense of humour for it.
But yeah, beyond that, there's a lot of places that have no idea that this complete gem exists. And
So this is the perfect time to broadcast it, and please watch it.
yeah, it's just,
I mean-
it's really, really good.
The parody
Okay.
stuff that they did is amazing within that show.
I'm gonna have to cut you guys because we're running long and I need to get mine
Yeah.
in. But Father Ted, go watch it. It's brilliant. This is spooky. So my two choices is the IT Crowd and Black Books, which is written by the same guy who did Father Ted. I swear to God, people, we don't talk about this before we come on air. That is creepy. Last week, Tom brought up Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. He followed it. Troy's followed on with Preacher and the Boys, which is together. I'm following Dan for Father Ted, and we're going to blow our load on the IT Crowd and Black Books, which he also wrote. Weird. But like I said, we didn't plan this. I swear to God. So Black Books has got Bill Bailey. What's her name? Maria from the Friday Night Dinner.
Oh.
So she's in it.
Yeah, the name's gone.
The name has hit the barn and gone. It's basically about a bookshop. It's about a really moany bookkeeper who doesn't like people to buy books, which is like the first episode, I think. Dylan Moran and Bill Bailey. There we go. Bernard Black.
Tamsin Greig.
Tamsin Greig. I like Dylan Moran. He's not in a lot of stuff, but when he turns up in stuff, he turns up in a lot of British rom-coms as well. It's the funny Irishman. He's just really hilarious, and from the first scene onwards, he just doesn't want anyone to buy books. He just wants them to sod off.
I don't think he doesn't want people to buy books. He just doesn't want people to come near him.
Yeah, because but I remember the great episode where if people buy books, he has to order more. That's what part of his reasoning for not wanting people in the thing. Bill Bailey's character comes in to do the paperwork and generally move in. My favorite episode though is Tamsin Greig. So Tamsin Greig is the quite funky shopkeeper next door. She's amazing. She's in so much cool stuff now. This is like one of her first roles before she became famous. I still love. Have you guys seen this show?
What, Black Books?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
How good is this show?
Because everyone knows IT Crowd, which we'll get to in a minute. It's most probably worldwide the more famous of the Graham Linehan's shows.
Yeah.
I would put Black Books in the UK under Father. I would say Father Ted is more famous over here than IT Crowd, but you could argue either side.
IT Crowd gets quite a lot of reshowings these days on Channel 4.
Tons.
Yeah, but Black Books is still as good as any of those two.
But it doesn't get shown very often. It's kind of disappeared into the sands of time.
It's
such an amazing show.
It's on Netflix, though. But what I love is there's an episode where he moves next door and he can remove the wall and see him working with Simon Pegg in the shop next door. Character. There's the one where they go. It's just a really funny show. There's the one where he insults the Pope. Does he kill the Pope? I can't remember what happens. They drink the bottle of wine or something.
I can't remember it. I'm stuck on the very first episode. Just that one quote from Manny. Add a dab of lavender to your milk. Leave town with an orange and pretend you're laughing at it. Right before Bernard says to all the skinheads, right, which one of you bitches wants to dance?
It's a really good show.
Do you remember the episode where Bill Bailey swallowed like a book of haikus or something?
Yes.
Oh, that is probably
the Little Book of Cam.
Yeah, that's it.
I've actually got bits from it here. Hang on. I've got bits. Add a drop of lavender to your bath, and soon you will soak yourself Cam. Have you ever noticed a cam person with a loud voice?
That's true.
And the bit where Bernard actually allows the people who are trying to talk about Jesus to come into the shop, and he's like, "Yes, come in, come in."
Oh, it's got an actual. The shop itself has got an actual address in Bloomsbury, London. Huh,
Yeah,
interesting.
it does. I've been past it.
I would like to talk about the IT crowd. I think it's. Some people would say by the fourth season it's slagged a bit. It's about basically 3 people working in the Random Industries, an IT company. A business company, but they are the IT department that are unloved and live in the basement, which is a bit of a shithole. But I will say one thing: it's full of loads of Easter eggs, like geeky stuff, and it's mostly more quotable than Black Books, but it's like Father Ted. It's just I can imagine from the really long silly phone number of the new emergency services 118-256-7891 or something to the internet button where they Jen is the manager of Morse and Rory. There's always a funny Irishman in this guy's shows, and you find like it's just great. I don't know what to say about it at this point, but I love the bit where they send Jen up to a meeting, and she asks them the subject, and they decide to piss her off with the internet button, and she talks about the internet like it's a big thing, like it's a new invention. And they bring it back for the finale. There's the sexy calendar with geeks, which is just making me roar with laughter. They do bring. I'm going to say one thing now. I don't like the owner of the company from season 1. I don't know who it is, but it's much better in season 2 because Matt Berry's character, the son, turns up. I love Matt Berry. Matt Berry is a treasure.
That guy's a legend, man.
He's just loud and British and just wants to have sex with everything. There's a bit of a taser gun. Personally, another favourite of mine is Street Countdown with Moss.
Okay.
Richard O'Day's famous best moment where they're all like drinking milk in a nightclub, former winners of Countdown, which is a British quiz game show, all talking like street thugs. I just see a crowd of people outside going, do, boom. It's brilliant. There's the great episode where they're in the Wimbledon theatre and Rory's pretending to be in a wheelchair. That great bit where he's going up and going down, going up, going down in the wheelchair, just watching it go up really slowly into the van. I could go on for hours about IT crowd. There's the meltdown with the girlfriend's dead parents with the SeaWorld thing. Do you remember that? And Rory's going bit by bit crazy about trying to figure out how they could be a fire in sea parks.
Oh my gosh. I forgot about that.
It's just fantastic. I'm just going to leave it there. It's my favourite show of Graham Lineham's thing. Just Pippin Father Ted.
But Ben.
Yes.
Old wine is good wine.
I know. I'm just an IT crowd boy. I saw it before I saw Father Ted, so I'm always going to be.
That wasn't even a Father Ted line. It was a Black Books line.
I know. Oh yeah, but yeah.
Old wine is good wine, yes, but expensive wine is good wine also. Yes, but the older the wine is, the gooder it is. Yes, but by the same token, the more expensive the wine is, the gooder it is also.
I can't follow that. So, what's your favorite IT crowd moments, guys? Do you have any?
Damn, it's so much.
Bomb disposal robot.
That one where they break away from work and decide to go off for the day, bunk off work. Oh my god, it's brilliant. What about you, Troy?
Literally, I haven't seen IT Cut in so long. I think it's all I know is it was a Matt Berry moment. That's all I remember. I literally can't remember what it was. There was a moment where he starts dancing. I can't remember what episode it was. It's so annoying.
I remember I loved the Matt Berry one where he finds out he's dating a man, but she's a woman. Just finished the operation. That's another classic.
All I can say is every moment Matt Berry. That's all I can say.
I'm not a window cleaner. Also, we're trying to prove to people I'm not a window cleaner. That's become a saying between me and my friends. I'm not a window cleaner. I can't do an Irish accent. Sorry, Dan. I'm not even going to try and attempt to insult you with my Irish accent. But yeah, that's it. But go watch all of that. Go watch all three. Father Ted, Black Fox, and IT Crowd. Seriously, some good stuff there. I mean, that's a pretty strong lineup this week, guys.
That's a great lineup.
Yeah, we're probably going to end up having ones we hate the whole way through next time.
Yeah, really. I think we need to do that Chum special we talked about get drunk in April Fools, and just make Troy cry. Or just mute him and us three can just conversion kick the shit out of Charmed. And just glue the earphones to his ears.
Okay, but Ben, if you want the privilege of sitting there and doing that, you at least have to watch the entirety of a season.
I know. You sound like you're already backpedaling that.
Go on, Dan. Dan, you're the man.
He is a man. Right. Well, we better get going.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Right. Well, you are the man. But
and with that backhanded compliment,
we need to get out of here. Is Tom dead?
No, I'm not dead.
Why do you keep asking that?
I know.
Tom goes quiet when I talk.
It's because I'm listening.
I know. All right. I'll let you go.
I think Ben's trying to put you in the cupboard, Tom.
You know what? It will be a horrible day out to go in the cupboard, but if you could time it for when you're doing Charmed, I'm not going to be that.
Oh my god.
We're all going in the cupboard for that day, and then Troy's going to have to just do it on his own. Right.
Gladly.
Stop trying to get us into the cupboard with you, Ben. Stop it.
I keep trying.
It's never going to happen, Ben.
Lack of effort. It's not going to be for lack of effort. Right. Anyway, so next week we're doing a Men Behaving Badly special. Yep. So we're going to ignore Harry Anfield's first season, though, because it's shit. So anyway, see you next week. Goodbye from me.
Bye from me.
Bye from me.
And goodbye from me.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.